Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to a different type of video. But today I'm going to talk about how I keep track of my reading. So obviously I have a Goodreads, it'll be linked down below. That's where you're going to get all of my reviews, my star rating, everything. Obviously you also get that in the videos, but I try to keep up to date with it. I try to go onto it every day. I have like a timer, an alarm set on my Alexa telling me that it's time to log books. So I go in at least once a day and try to update it if I have something new to add. So that's like real-time stats is my Goodreads. Then I started by tracking my reading by just typing in a note in my notes app. This is actually my second time filming this video, so I did screen record it and I will put it here. Very basic. It's evolved and devolved over the years. I started it like back in 2019 before I knew what Goodreads was, before any of that stuff. And I just wrote down each book. I didn't even write the author. Like sometimes I go back and I'm like, what is this book? Like who wrote this? So I just wrote down the book title before. And then like I would write down the book title and the author, and then like I at one point wrote the book title, the author, the genre. Like I went crazy for a while, and now because I do track it in so many other ways, like halfway through last year I stopped tracking it because I was like trying to do too much, and yeah. So now I just do book title and author, and when I have a couple minutes I go in and type it in just so I don't forget, in case something were to happen. At least I have it on my notes app. So, yes. But the main thing that I use is I'm going to screen record. I use a spreadsheet. And it's a compilation of Steph from Novelty Corners and Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy's two spreadsheets, because I really liked aspects of both of theirs, but neither of them were perfect for me. So I kind of took aspects from both and made it into my own spreadsheet. That obviously credit to both of them 100% for having these amazing spreadsheets. I know Allie from Hard Recorder has an amazing one also, but I'm cheap and didn't want to pay for it. So I just made my own. So this is how it is. I put the title, the author, the month I read it in, start date, end date, and then it calculates the number of days it took me to read, the number of pages, the genre, and I usually don't fill out the number of pages until the end. Like until I've finished the book, which you'll see why in a little bit. The tropes, like the main tropes that it has in it. Then I have, this is the weighted, this part is Cassidy's, the weighted ratings. So each one of these little sections is out of 10. So the main characters, the side characters, the emotions, the setting, the writing, and the enjoyment. Cassidy only has 5 categories. I added a 6th because as a romance reader, she's primarily a fantasy reader. As a romance reader, like I don't need like all sorts of, like I really don't even need the setting, but I keep it in there just because sometimes there are, I do read fantasy romances. Those do have a setting, or like if I want reading a beach read, like a vacation read, if I'm feeling like I'm sitting on a beach drinking a mocktail or a cocktail, that setting is immaculate. So like only for the week, 10 out of 10 on the setting. Perfect. I felt like I was in Tulum, like, yes. So then the main characters, just like usually the 2 or sometimes more characters that are in the story, like the love triangle, the love situation, the couple or throuple or polyamorous relationship, whatever it may be. And then the side characters, so the friends, the found family, like those type of people, the people that are going to get books in the future. How did I feel about them? The emotions, and this could be any emotion, so it doesn't just necessarily have to be something that made me cry. I could have been giggling and laughing and having a great time. That is obviously an emotion. The setting, like I said, if I'm reading a book set on the beach, I want to feel like I am on a beach. The writing, obviously, how I feel the writing is, things like that, and then my enjoyment. So all very subjective and personal to me, like what I feel like. And then it keeps the score, and then that score gives me what my rating is out of 5. There's a whole other section like hidden in the background that you can see, and then I have whether I DNF'd it or not. So right here, DNF. Did I cry? Did the book make me cry? Was it a reread? How did I read it? So I have library audio, library ebook, Kindle Unlimited, owned ebook, Audible Plus, Audible owned, AnyPlay, physical, ARC ebook, ARC audio, ARC physical, and then the format read is just a smaller version of that. So physical book, audio book, mixed media, whether I read it and listened, or ebook. And then the swoon level, that is personal to me. Obviously, if I feel a book is swoony, it's gonna get, like the moments. So like Unsteady, I just finished it, and I feel like that has some great great swoony moments. So I'm gonna put it as high. The steam level, I'm gonna say medium. Like, again, that is personal to me. Like, it's the kind of like a chili pepper rating, but like, I don't know. I feel like steam is a little different than like spice. So, I mean, they're similar, but like the build up, that type of stuff also can go into there. So again, very personal to me. Representation, and this is just for the characters. So it does not have author representation. This is literally just the characters. So Black love, mental health, plus size, those type of things. And then like if I know the mental, so like this one is actually PTSD. So just different type of representation that you can find in a book. And then I have publication year, so new release 2023, 2020 to 2022, 2010 to 2019, 2000 to 2009, 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, and before the 70s. Probably won't read a ton of those, but I do want to read like a Johanna Lindsey this year, which those are all prior to 2020, or 20,000. Those are all prior to 2000. So I do have like those in there. Probably, maybe we'll read 2 this whole year, if I even do that. So that's why. And then I have whether it was a new to me author or not. And then I have series, interconnected, standalone, or standalone. So obviously, standalone is just one book. So like Unsteady right now is just a standalone, but I believe she does have plans to make it a interconnected standalone series that follows other couples. And then obviously interconnected standalones follow different couples in the book. Each book has a HEA at the end, or an HFN. And then a series obviously is like following the same couples and things. So, and then I have written by woman, man, non-binary, author, duo, or unknown. If I am missing anything, please let me know. I am always wanting to learn more and be more inclusive, so please let me know. So just the type of representation. And then I have author representation. So whether it was a BIPOC author, or whether obviously authors don't owe us anything. But like, I know Casey Hollander is Black and he's queer. So that is why that is there. And then I have whether it was for TBR Uno, and then the Uno prompt that I used it for. So those that are there. Buddy read. So whether it was buddy read or not. And for a readathon, yes or no. And then if it was for a readathon prompts, I also should just make this / who I buddy read it with. Because like the Wraith Kings series, I'm buddy reading it with Tori from Novel Life, Ava from Ava's Romance Reads, Christy from Christy Reads a Lot, and Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. So I'm buddy reading it with them for a group like live show that we're gonna do at the end of the month. And so that's why I should put that in there so that I remember to talk about them. And then for a video, like, what is it for? If I read it for a video, not every book gets read for a video. I mean, obviously I do talk about every book in a wrap up of some sort, but not every book is specifically for like a vlog, or if I want to read like a list video or something. And then I have author, or the POV. I know there's others, but these are the main. So dual, single, multi, or third person. And then for books that I do listen to on audio, I have the narrators, And then, which this, I added like this many, even though like, so Stars in Your Eyes is a full cast audio, but there's like, it's literally like every person has their own line. Whereas like Twilight of the Embers, just these voice actors did specific chapters. So it was easier to break it down that way. And then I just have traditional indie / self-pub or fanfic. And obviously I'm doing the edition that I'm reading. So like Unsteady by Peyton Corinne down here has been picked up by a publisher. So it will be traditionally published. But I read the indie version. So that's why I put that there. Like, so indie, self-pub, traditional, whatever it is, and then a fanfic. I want to read more fanfics this year. We're already over halfway through February, and I haven't picked one up, so we'll see. And then I have characters, microtropes, and notes for review. So just like, sometimes I end up putting like the same tropes in different places, but this way it's so like, if there's like tattoo for you or a virgin hero, like I want to know those things, but I'm not necessarily going to say them in like wrap-ups and things because those might be considered spoilers. So yes. And then the character names, just so I remember who they are. And then whether I've put it on my genre blanket or not. And then the cover color, which is just for fun. And then I have the monthly stats page. This is from Cassidy's thing. So it just pulls the information so I can go and look. And this is how, like, when I do my stats at the end of the month, this is how I look. So it has just these like basic stats up here. And then the star rating breakdown, format breakdown, publication breakdown, acquired breakdown, so like how I got the book, and then the genre breakdown at the bottom. So that is that, and it goes all the way through to December, which I don't know why I halfway through didn't finish writing the month out, but that's fine. And then the yearly stats, this is from Steph from Novelty Corner. This is from her spreadsheet. So it has the number of books read each month, the number of pages read each month, your favorite read, which you just fill in yourself, and then your least favorite read, which again, you just fill in yourself. And then this is something I added myself. So I do this at the end of the month. I go through, because this pulls, you have to go into the books tab and find the rows that you wrote in, or that were typed in for that month. So this is how I get this information, so that I have fun visuals on my stats and faves. And then the acquisitions tab, so just books that I've purchased, physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks, all of them. I tried doing this and then I decided to stop. It just got to be too much, especially because like the special editions, I didn't purchase them that month. I had already pre-purchased them. I just received them in January. So yeah. Then my series tracker, if you watched my series spreadsheet, my series video where I talked about series and authors and things like that, that's where I got all this information from. TBR Uno tab, this is just so I know what books, so I can keep track of like my actual TBR for TBR Uno. And then like, so like Redeeming 6, it was on my January TBR, did not read it in January, but I have read it now. I read it in February, so there. And then just a key for my blanket colors, so I know what they are, so I don't forget. Especially because like, I mean, contemporary, Svan Row, small town, sports romance, I read a lot of those. Obviously, I know small town and sports are considered contemporary, but it would be very boring if I really only had like 4 colors on my blanket. So I like to make it a little bit more, like, it's not necessarily colorful, it's a lot of gray and like blacks and things, but I do want to switch it up so that it's not all the same color basically. But like, I'm not going to remember that nonfiction was sparkly pink unless I look at this. And then yearly TBRs, this is not even fully filled out, but it's 24 books during 2024 and my 12 books from 12 friends. I was supposed to write Who Wrecked It. I've read this one. I gotta go in and fix all that, but that's not that big of a deal. And then the last tab is my owned books. So at the end, this is all the books I owned in the month prior to this year. I should go in and add all the books that I acquired in January to here and do that at the end of each month. But that way, so when I go to do like random number generators or things on my TBR Uno. I have this, or if I just feel like finding a book. So this has every audiobook, ebook, physical book, all of that I own. And then I try to write if I read it, when I got it, if I can remember to do that. So that is my reading spreadsheet. That's the main way I track my reading, is with that. Then I do have a couple of other, like, just bookish, like, notebook type things. So this is just a plain, like, spiral bound notebook. It's kind of like a catch-all. I put, like, it's very messy. I just write down the books I read, like, how I, this is mostly for, like, filming, for doing wrap-ups and things. So I write down the book I read, the star rating, and then, like, the characters and the tropes that I want to talk about. And then I do, like, I have, like, my stats and stuff, just for filming, because I film on my phone, so I can't look at my phone for those things. I mean, could look at my computer, but I feel like then I'm constantly looking down. At least with this, I can, like, glance and then glance. So it is more helpful that way. It also just has, like, random stuff, but this is nothing special. I write messy, I write nice sometimes. It just kind of depends. I have sticky notes in here. I have vlog ideas. I have some journaling stuff. I have my Christmas shopping list. Like, I just put everything in here, but primarily it is used for, like, filming ideas and, like, notes for filming. Then I have my, like, little just planner that goes with me everywhere, that I write down what I do every single day, because I do a, like, nice memory planner that I don't have with me at my aunt's house, because it's just, I didn't need to bring it with me, because I didn't have any stuff. Don't have all the things I need to memory plan for these next couple weeks. So, or these past couple weeks. So that's why I don't have it with me. I didn't feel the need to bring it. But this, I write down, like, the day I start a book, the day I finish a book, that type of stuff. And then also, like, what I do after the day. So I'm not going to show you, like, the day by day, because personal stuff. But this, I do write down, like, what book I was reading each day. So, like, if I read a book at all, or, like, when I started it. So that way I can kind of see, like, how many days it took me to read a book. Like, did I take a couple days in between reading books? Because sometimes I do that. Like, I'm just not feeling it. I'll put a book down for a couple days and then I'll go back to it. And then I do have a reading journal. This is bare bones. I have barely filled it out. I have title page. I was supposed to put it, like, new releases. Did never really get to that. I just put, so each book I finish, and then I have the star rating for it up here, like, so each square correlates to a star rating, and I have, like, a key, so I remember what color is what. Goals, again, this is in pencil. One day I'll go through and make it look nicer. New to me authors, haven't filled this out in a while. I still haven't filled these 2 pages out. Book bracket, I was gonna do that. I mean, I know what my favorite book was last month, so it won't be hard to fill it out. Reading stats, still have to fill that out. This is, like, the January title page. I thought I liked it, now I'm looking and I hate it. This was supposed to be vlogs that I was doing and the books I read for them. I ended up not even doing most of these vlogs, so that's fun. TBR Uno, never filled that out. Readathons, didn't fill that out. Favorite, least favorite, and stats, haven't done that, but main thing I do, and then one day I will, like, sometimes I'll sit down and I'll spend, like, a half hour and I'll do a bunch of stuff, and then, like, I'll take, like, a week off and not do anything, other than I do write down each book that I read, and, like, the format I read it, and I will, like, go in and make this nicer one day, again, just not really something I do all the time. It's more of, like, a fun thing, and then I need to do this at home with my Cricut. I'm going to make, like, a mood board for each book, like, each of my favorite books. Like, I'm not going to do every book, but so, like, Saving Six, Through the Glen, the Eden series is going to get 2 pages because I read the entire series in January. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. So, like, my top 5 from each month is going to get, like, its own spread, and then I don't know what I'm going to put here. I'll figure something out. And then the February title page will go right here, and then these are the books that I've read in February. And I don't know, I don't think I'm going to do, like, this, so that's why, because I never filled them out. Like, I don't think I'll do the TBR Uno and the readathons, unless, like, it's like a bingo board readathon, and then I can possibly do it, because like in January I did Once Upon a Readathon, and that was really just like writing down or putting in like each book. So like March is Realmathon. I probably won't do a whole spread for Realmathon, just because every book I read is going to go towards the readathon, so it doesn't really matter. But like if I was like a weekend readathon, like a weekend like readathon, I'll add that in, and I'll just put that in before I do the March favorite books. So if that makes sense, makes sense to me. And then obviously I don't have my actual like nice memory planner in, but it's close, similar in size to this. I write down the books that I read in like books I read in that, and then my favorite book from each week, each individual week gets like a highlight on my sidebar. One day I'll post a picture of it or something on my Instagram. But yeah, that is how I track my reading. I also post reviews for every single book on my Instagram, and I have a highlight of them. If you want to go check that out, that's linked down below, I believe. So you can go check that out. Book Bar, that's my name on Instagram. So I do have reviews for every book that I read. I started that, I think, like in July or August of last year. And so I do a review, my star rating, everything is on there. So yeah, those are like the main ways I track my reading. And how do you keep track of your reading? Let me know. And if you made it to the end of this video, please leave me a like pen or pencil emoji, and or the one, I think it's like a notebook with a pencil. Give me that. Some sort of writing implementation. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye.